Hello and welcome to Quick Charge by Electrek, keeping you in the fast track with daily Tesla and electric vehicle news. I'm Mikey G, and it's Tuesday, May 24th. A group of environmentalists is asking the city of Austin to withhold Tesla's permit for the upcoming battery cathode material factory next to Gigafactory Texas. Over the last 2 years, Tesla was simultaneously building Gigafactory Texas as well as Berlin. In Germany, the company ran into many issues with environmentalists challenging the automaker's permits over a multitude of concerns, from deforestation to water usage. And now, here in the States, several groups have asked for the halt as they are particularly concerned about the water supply and potential contamination with the Colorado River. The municipal, county, and state governments have all been very welcoming to Tesla, so it would be quite the surprise if they didn't go ahead with the permits. Tesla's Advanced Battery Research Group in Canada, in partnership with Delaware University, has released a new paper on new nickel-based battery that could last 100 years and still compare favorably to lithium iron phosphate cells on charging and energy density. Back in 2016, Tesla established the Tesla Advanced Battery Research in Canada through partnership with Jeff Dawn's Battery Lab at Delaware University in Halifax, Canada. The group has already produced quite a few patents and papers on batteries for Tesla, and the team has now released a paper which is titled Lithium of Nickel at 0.5, Manganese at 0.3, and Cobalt at 0.2, and Oxygen as a superior alternative to lithium iron phosphate for long-lived low-voltage lithium-ion cells. Now, the title does include some chemistry notation, so hopefully I said it correctly. Nevertheless, the paper describes a nickel-based battery chemistry meant to compete with lithium iron phosphate cells on longevity while retaining properties that people like in nickel-based batteries, such as higher energy density, and it enables longer range with fewer batteries for electric vehicles. The research group even noted that the new cells described in the paper could last 100 years if kept at a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. One of the keys appears to be using an electrolyte with lithium salts consisting of, lithium bisfluorosulfonylamide? After recently expanding its Supercharger pilot program for non-Tesla EV owners, the Tesla Supercharger network became the largest 150-plus kilowatt public fast-charging network in Europe. Basically, Tesla just flipped a switch on their chargers across the continent that were previously for Tesla users. Of course, this doesn't cover all stations, and moreover, it doesn't cover all countries as of yet. The recent ones added are in Austria, Belgium, Spain, Sweden, and the UK. Recently, Tesla did cross a threshold where now their stations are the largest network. This is according to Tesla's head of supercharging in Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Nissan announced a partnership with Pole-to-Pole founder and adventurer Chris Ramsey. They're going to do a custom-built Ariya for a magnetic North Pole drive down to the South Pole. The nearly 17,000-mile trip will be made by Ramsey and the team behind the wheel of the Nissan Ariya all-wheel drive, the first vehicle to complete such a drive if it's successful. As Ramsey points out, he and his team will encounter some of the world's most extreme, albeit beautiful environments, including snow-covered glacial landscapes at temperatures of -22 Fahrenheit, mountain climbs, hot sticky jungles, desert dunes. We wish the team the best of luck and the best of supercharger access. Stellantis and Samsung have executed binding definitive agreements to establish an EV battery manufacturing facility in Kokomo, Indiana. The joint venture will invest $2.5 billion and bring approximately 1,400 new jobs to the area. It'll also utilize Samsung's Premix technology to produce EV battery cells and modules for the North American market. According to Stellantis and Samsung, the original investment could grow to $3.1 billion in the future, especially as the venture already has shared plans for expanding capacity at the U.S. plant. If and when the U.S. facility reaches its 2025 start of operations, is expected to have an initial production capacity of 23 gigawatts per year. Stellantis and Samsung also shared that they are aiming to increase this to 33 gigawatts in the next few. And in today's community comment, a channel called Cybertruck Driver is accusing Electrek Daily of spreading FUD. You know what? I have heard this before. Once upon a time, there was a fellow named Stephen Gooley who posted up a similar suspicion. However, it didn't take long for Tesla to bounce back, and Stephen's been a fan ever since. Thanks for watching Quick Charge by Electrek. We also have an audio version on your favorite podcast player. I'm Mikey G, and I hope you have a great day.